Hello, hi, welcome to what I read in the last week. What is 5 books? All 5 of these, I think, were in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Like, before August started. The rest of the time was me just trying to read Game of Thrones, which I'm so close, I'm so close. It is within sight, the end, of the first book. But, I read 5 books. All of which were dual read, except for one, which was just really audiobook, so... And some of these were chunkers, like, one of these was just under 500 pages, so... The page count was 1,678. Yeah, and the hours is 61. Okay, first one is Love at Second Sight, which is the new F.T. Lupin. If you don't know, I love 2 of the F.T. Lupin's books ever. This one as well. I do really like this one as well. I really love F.T. Lupin's first book. Like, obsessed with it. And Spellbound, I think, is the one from last year, was not my favorite. And so because of that, they got the new one this year, which somehow I keep on getting the arcs. I don't know how. I don't know how. Thank you, NetGalley. And I think it's Simon Bean, for that. But basically, yes, I am like 3 months late on the arc. Don't worry about that. I was worried about it because I didn't like the last release as much. So I was like, oh no, am I like this one? Once I got through the first 10%, which was basically set up for the characters, I was having a great time. Which is a thing to say because the plot itself very predictable. But that's not what it was about. It was about the ensemble cast, like the characters. I think there's like 5 main characters. Like there's the main character, but then there's like the 4 others. That I enjoyed. Even when I didn't like them, I enjoyed reading them, which is a rare thing for me. Right? Was the queer allegories a little heavy-handed sometimes? Yes. Yes. And predictable. Like it wasn't anything new. So like yeah, sure, whatever. But like I had a good time. 4 stars. I'm contemplating getting this one as a physical book as well. Because I own Deeper Waters, and so this is Ever After as hardcover, so I'm contemplating this one as well. That's how you know I like it. Then I read, I needed to read self-help. We talked about this last week. I think it was last week when I DNF'd one. The Art of Dying Well is the one I sell for. It was like 3 stars. It was fine. But it gets bonus points for being the only available self-help audiobook at my library that wasn't also Christian. Literally every single one I clicked on. So we love that. Thank you so much. Also to the point where like she would be like, if you are Christian or well, and then list off a bunch of different religions and talk about the different type of praying you do or if you're agnostic, like all this stuff. So props for that. 3 stars. The Other Problem It's You is a sequel to a sapphic historical romance I read last year. I think I read it last year. I don't remember. I don't remember. But this is about their cousins falling in love, and then they're gonna like switch marriages, type thing, so that the cousin of this one marries this one, so that the 2 guys can be together and 2 girls can be together. Right? That's what's happening. I read 4 stars, which is the same as I read the first one. Really good. It kind of ate sometimes. Then I read Ruthless Files. I get the complaints now. I read Divine Rebels. Loved it. 4.5 stars. Ruthless Files. Why in the year 2025, 2024, whichever one it came out in, do we have the amnesia trope? I don't. Also, I love how as soon as he touches her skin, he immediately remembers everything. Like, yeah, that's, also, how, the villain was defeated. We don't actually get to see that. Stuff like that. Like, it's a bunch of minor stuff where I'm just like, huh? And also, it just didn't have the gravitas as the first one had for me, 3.5 stars. And then I read Radiant Girls finally. We would like to thank my sister for me managing to finish it, because for some reason, every time I go to read it, the audiobook, breaks. On Libby. It was insane. Every single time I tried to read it, the audiobook would break. And it's too long a book. It's just under 500 pages to read just my eyeballs. Especially since I was trying to finish it before the end of the month. But she had her Spotify audiobook hours still for the month, like all of them. And it's available there. And it was gonna renew the hours soon anyways, and I would only use up half of them. So she let me, partially because it was with her library card, I had the ebook, and so, and she wanted to read the borrow books, so in order to do that, I had to return that one. So it makes sense. But I got to use her audiobook hours to read it. We love her for that. It was good. I was feeling it's a little long. Like I don't know how's it still going, but then it would still keep going. It would move to a different area. That's why, because they would go and we'll fight people. Anyways, you know, it kept going, and then I was so surprised when it was done. I was like, wait a second, it's done. It's done. I did almost cry a few times. There were a few tears. I think there was just a week or 2. Okay. It was good. 4 stars. I get why it's recommended, and that's everything.